Hello everybody, this is JP3 here. We are continuing with our Halo Combat Evolved Legendary playthrough. We are on mission number 8, Two Betrayals. Perhaps the hardest mission in the entirety of this campaign, maybe even a top 5 hardest mission in the entirety of the Halo franchise. And we are set to go, and we're going to start off really fast, really quick, because of the way this level begins. There's no time for napping, no time for chilling. Overcharge the first 2 sentinels just to get them off your back, and then pepper the other 2 so you have some plasma pistol charge for the next group, the next battle. This thing does not slow down for a little bit.
We have to stop him. We have to destroy Halo.
Alright, so as you will see, the first order of business is to throw a grenade in the midst of those grunts and hope you get a few kills. Throw another one just to finish them off, perhaps. Then what I try to do is I try to angle my plasma pistol low and toward the elites. It will track over there if you're a little bit closer. I, however, did the worst thing you can do, which is overcharge all of these sentinels and leave 2 jackals and 2 elites remaining. Fortunately, rather, I'm able to recover. But it is generally not a good idea to kill the sentinels because they will wreak havoc on those elite shields. It is the grunts usually who take out the sentinels pretty fast with their needlers. Grab you a plasma rifle, police for sticky grenades, and just walk this plasma pistol just far enough back. It is a backup plan. It is not crucial for this part most of the time. Get your reticle right about here, throw 2 sticky grenades over the top, switch to your frags if you've got one, throw it in the midst of that group, and usually you'll kill most everybody. Every once in a while an elite will hop out of there, which is frustrating. But the frag may finish him off if he's been de-shielded or otherwise damaged by the initial plasmas. Again, still policing for grenades here and perhaps a better plasma pistol. Now, I usually like to try and stick this guy, but if I don't, and I just get it close enough and he doesn't notice me, he will stare at the grenade and let it blow him up. One of those little glitches in Halo Combat Evolved. If I guess it's a glitch. I wouldn't sit there and stare at the grenade if I was him. Especially if I wasn't going to move and do anything about it. So I'm looking for the other elite. I can't find him. Now I could find him, sure, if I looked all the way over the ledge, but then he'd notice me. So I try my best to see if I can do the same thing to him, but it's very hard to do given the way he's generally positioned. I do not normally do this, but it was just one of those things that maybe, just maybe, I can take care of the jackal. I probably lost my chance with the elite already, and sure enough, I probably had. Now this dude comes around the corner like he's on fire. Drop your shotgun, pick up 2 weapons that you don't mind losing. Or at least leaving up here. Now if you accidentally bring your shotgun up here, you can go back down and do this. Or you can just drop it off the ledge. But sometimes it can be hard to find weapons. Sometimes they get lost in the geometry of the level. So probably better to just do this. If you need health, you can grab it there. You can try to avoid it if you planned on coming back here though, and you had not lost enough health to be of a concern. Now, you want to also drop your sniper rifle for now. We're going to use it later. Just be careful, because sometimes it can get stuck in the geometry, never to be found again, or it can go over that ledge, which is a big pain in the ass. This is what I like to do. I like to start with this group, lean over this edge, hope that no one can see you, and then toss a grenade down there. I don't get the stick, but I do kill him. Same with this guy. A little surprised he didn't notice me. We do get the stick there, and now he's gone kaboom. There's one more elite over here. It looks like he's a miner. I did see his positioning there, but I did not angle myself properly to get that to arc well. He moves out of the way like a genius, and so now we're going to just, do the old noob combo once that goes through his character model. least that's what it looked like to me. I don't think that's actually what happened, but anyway. I go to the old graphics there so I know where the actual true end of that geometry is. For the most part, the original graphics are pretty accurate about that. Now this section here can go a little bit smoother than it actually does. So maybe it's good for the purposes of a walkthrough to see it when it doesn't always go according to plan. So first things first, if I can sneak a grenade down there, I do. I don't have any plasma grenades, or at least I don't think I do, because normally I would never throw a frag down there in that kind of scenario. It never gets kills like that, especially given the angle at which I threw it. I'm not even sure a plasma grenade would have done well at that point. Now that should have tracked to him. That one should have as well. Both involved red reticles. Now, the Elite was moving fast, so maybe that's what occurred there, but you don't get a guaranteed track in Halo Combat Evolved whenever there's a red reticle, especially on Legendary. There was another one. That one missed, but we finally get one to track. And fortunately, one of our grenades bounced a plasma pistol up to us. As you can see, maybe there on the side. Ugh. Oh, wow. He came... he should have been stunned, but I guess he was already in the punch me animation, and in Combat Evolved, you can't stop that animation. So, but it doesn't hurt us. It doesn't kill us. This isn't Halo 2. You do get a chance to actually go toe-to-toe with elites, even if they land a blow. So I'm going to get rid of this Jackal. There's two grunts down there you saw me kill. There's that Jackal, of course. And then there's two elites here. And this one only dodges one of the overcharges. We cheese over to him. This dude, that will not track. That's too far when the guy is over there still. He looks to be stuck in some sort of idiotic animation, but that grenade will get him out of it. That does not track him, and then the last one does not either. Not a normal occurrence for it to go that badly. I get a little frustrated. Do not do this. Just go back up and repeat the steps until it tracks. Needles can also track. He can also dodge them too, but a needler may not be a bad option when the plasma pistol overcharges just aren't working. I.e., he's dodging them all. Which actually I don't blame him for doing. Not everything's going to go perfectly. I have to tell myself that sometimes, so I don't restart runs like this, where things are generally going pretty smooth, but as is predictable, not everything always going according to plan, whether due to RNG, execution, enemy behavior that's smart and unpredictable, blah, blah, blah. Snipe that dude. Snipe that guy who's going to stop right before he gets to our reticle. You don't actually, it's not really a good idea to snipe him at all. You can get him with a headshot fairly easily. I just thought that he was going to run right into my reticle, and of course he did not. This Jackal's always standing here. Sometimes he's a minor. Today he's a major. Both equally killable. I don't know what I did to damage him, because I thought that was a major there, and they are not headshotable after one hit, so I must have hit him a little bit with my, no, he definitely was a major, because that dude's a minor, and they don't ever send you two minors on Legendary in this area. So, interestingly enough, in that scenario, 3 shots to kill a minor, and 1 shot to kill a major. Again, probably did some damage to the major there. Alright, so let's get our rocket launcher, and let's just smoke this guy out until he's dead. I'm not taking the rocket launcher with me into the next section after I kill the Wraith. And it's something that I want you to strongly consider, especially if you are struggling with this level. I'll explain that in a little bit. Right now, the first order of business, after all that other business, is to take out this Wraith. Now, I do not know why I shot that to the side, but I did, and of course, it predictably missed. That one that shot straight on hits. He moves. This is why I use old graphics a lot of the time, because of the way that's set up. You don't have as quite a clear line of sight on him. I did not see that he had just gently moved enough to where a straight shot again would not hit him. But that's all said and done, baby. Again, don't need to worry about the rocket launcher and conserving its ammunition. You won't need it for the next section. In fact, it's more of a hindrance. You need to take the great equalizer of Halo Combat Evolved's legendary difficulty. The shotgun. We're stuck in the geometry here, but we can bash our way out of it. Come up here, grab the shotgun ammunition, grab the pistol ammunition that should still be here, and grab your Banshee and head on to the first phase pulse generator. I do love this level. It is very difficult. It is, for me, the most difficult level in this campaign. That all being said, it brings back a lot of great memories, and it feels like an accomplishment when you beat this thing on Legendary, even if you die a couple of times. So just Fuel Rod and Plasma Cannon, everybody there. You do not need to worry about the Banshee's health, unless it gets down to 1 or 2 or 1 bars, of course. But the another Banshee will be magically brought to us.
That's the pulse generator, please.
Come on now, just take my shield away there. As soon as that happens, come hop on this ledge here. Crouch or not, it really probably doesn't matter. And as soon as your shields would charge up past halfway, skedaddle.
The second pulse generator is located in the adjacent canyon. Move out and I'll mark the target with a nav point when we get closer.
So these guys, kind of the same thing, not really concerned about the health of the Banshee. Just make sure that you don't linger or dally too long there, because on this side, you have 2 grunts with fuel rods, and by God, they can be MLG with those things if you're sitting in the same position for too long. So just do some strafing runs using the Banshee Bomb to take care of them. If we were on heroic difficulty or normal difficulty, we'd probably take care of a couple more with each Banshee Bomb, but here we're just one at a timing them. One thing also to keep in mind is that, you know, if you decide to proceed forth in this mission, you probably want to enter the correct door. This is not the correct door. That will become apparent to me a couple seconds after entering this room and not seeing a grunt walking there, ready for me to bash his skull in with the butt of my gun. Alright, red-faced embarrassment aside, let's get in the right door, the correct door, and sally forth. Proceed forward. Alright, so here you can actually stealth a great deal of this part. But it's totally RNG, because sometimes a Jackal or an Elite or a Grunt is standing right there facing you. Sometimes they're not standing there at all. Sometimes they're standing there and not facing you. We got deliciously lucky, I believe, at some point in Assault on the Control Room and a similar part. We do not get so deliciously lucky here. The difference, however, here is we have a shotgun. So I'm looking for that Elite there, just seeing if I could maybe get an easy stick on him. So sometimes you can stand at this window and get a couple of kills with the shotgun. I don't generally like to handle it like that. I like to try to get a couple of kills with grenades just like that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the Elite has magical knowledge and moves away immediately, even though he's literally, his feet were in the air at the time he started moving. I don't know if you noticed that, but anyway. Just shotgun him in the face for his insolence. Now sometimes there will be a Grunt hanging out right there, but he's not, like right in between where those two things meet. Oh man, my life for another, just one more plasma grenade, because he was staring at it. He was staring at it like he's not in combat. That was actually kind of cool. This Jackal does his job right here. He stands in front and tanks all the damage, perhaps even sacrificing himself, All needles, overcharges, and whatnot will go straight to him. So it's very, very good to just get rid of him before you start trying to kill every other thing, unless you charge them. So at some point when you get tired of doing this, you take the shotgun over there and just bully your way past everything. Something that's I sorely, sorely miss in future Halos, especially Halos starting with Reach. Alright, that's right. That is right at him. How the heck is that not a stick or even a kill? Either way, this dude is going down. That's right, dude. Alright, don't revel. Duck or not. I usually crouch there and headshot these jackals as they're coming forward. Notice the shotgun's effectiveness here. We don't need a rocket launcher for this part. We need a plasma pistol that's in the geometry, so we're going to have to go back and get one over here. But as soon as we do, just do a little bit of juggling. And as soon as you get to about this point, throw 2 plasma grenades right over there. Sometimes both elites will just stare at them and die. Sometimes you'll get lucky and stick one. Here we don't get both of them, but we get one of them, which is really all we need to do. 2 elite majors, not so fun to deal with. 1 elite major, certainly doable. I thought that was him hiding. That's actually his... That's actually a grunt body. That's not even... Yeah, no. That was an elite body there. So we're not going to play this game. Not for much longer. Yeah, he's just going to keep dodging them and then keep going to places I can't reach him. So I'll just hold that overcharge there, which will hold him there. If he comes out, I release it and he either goes away or I plasma pistol him while I'm going back down to grab the equalizer. Boom. Boom. You're dead. Again, if you're having trouble with this mission and you're bringing the rocket launcher in here, do this instead. Yes, there's a shotgun ammo drop or shotgun drop that's right over here, but look at what we were able to do with it just then. So we're just waiting, letting them fight it out, letting them weaken each other a little bit, and then we're going to come out here, and we're going to try to stick some dudes using this ledge, the way we kind of failed to do in Assault on the Control Room in that one room, if you watched that video. This actually works just fine. I'm not really sure where this grenade goes. I don't know what it's stuck on. I just know it killed him. I thought it was stuck on his face. Get right at this corner here and wait for them to come around it. They're coming on the wrong side. They're coming body side, not shield side. If there's a break in the action, then get right here and use the same advantage except for pistol and headshot. Again, we got a great advantage against the jackals there because they're coming at us with their bodies. They always hold that shield in the same hand. Here, there's quick ways to get rid of these dudes, especially if you did bring the rocket launcher. I personally like this way of doing it. It's just too fun. Alright, now we've got a handful of grunts left. Once there's 2 enemies or less, the flood will come through and you'll start seeing your first Covenant Flood combat. Old graphics so we can get the right geometry, and he is literally one shot to the shin away from death. All that red means that the flood have now entered the fray. They are easy enough to take care of. I think there's a couple with pistols, but no one with a shotgun. No one with a rocket launcher, not yet. Alright, there is one flood that is trying to flank me right now. I can see him. He will be unsuccessful in killing us, but a good strategy. A good strategy. I applaud you, good sir. Collect as many grenades as still may be remaining. Kill any revivers. I come over here probably to run them in a couple of circles there, but just in case, I'll throw a timed mine version of the plasma grenade there and take out anybody that might still be following. Alright, when you come out here, we're going to try to again take advantage of us being on the body and not shield side of these jackals and headshot as many as possible. Usually all 4 are there and ready to kill you. This time they are occupied with the flood. I can't, there we go. So that's 3 of the jackals down. We do have an elite with a sword, an elite general with a sword that will be visiting us shortly. Sometimes he is occupied with the flood. Oftentimes, though, he will charge you just when you least expect it. That's probably not the best time to stick him because, of course, we could have had our shotgun blown off the edge, and that would have been quite catastrophic for the making of a video like this. I do not want to try and make my way through Two Betrayals without the shotgun at this point. It wouldn't be long till we found one, but yeah, it would have been catastrophic for the making of this video. Because I probably would have restarted it 20 minutes in. Right now you can see what I'm doing, just some noob comboing. Pick the shotgun back up, and if there's anyone left over, then we just blow them all to hell. Here you will get some flood that will jump over. They generally, I think, all have plasma pistols, which makes them somewhat less dangerous than if they had had human weapons. And we just take care of them like so. And then finally, you cross the line right about there, and 2 flood with plasma rifles jump over. Anticipate where they land. This guy lands in a very unique place. It looks like he's standing on the massively, very tippy little tiny edge of that geometry. Don't know how he made it there, but he did. Not a problem. We just, grab some cover and shotgun him from afar. Alright, this is very important. This is a very tough room. I believe it's referred to as Hell Room by speedrunners. Throw a grenade right alongside them. Shoot a shotgun blast there. I don't do that. Throw a plasma grenade. Kill any remaining dudes there. Throw a shotgun blast there. Or shoot a shotgun blast, throw a plasma grenade. The shotgun blast is designed to get their attention. The plasma grenade will usually explode at a time when they are coming towards you. It's not a perfect strategy because it's hard to perfectly execute. However, it works really well at thinning out the herd. And there are a lot of shotgun dudes that are coming from all 3 sides. Center, left, and right. That usually does a great job of thinning it out, as you saw. But there are more. This is not over. There are more. You save a plasma grenade, stick a guy that's standing right there. Usually there's one right there and not one ready to shoot you. The game just did a little bit of a cheat on us there. I mean, no matter how much noise you've made before, that is usually an easy stick, and then you usually get on Legendary Difficulty 3 or 4 of the kills. There are 4 up here. Now, very important that you do this. Come over, break this glass, jump right here, duck, and throw a frag grenade in the midst of those 3 shotgun elites. Triple shotgun elites will kill you instantly. Triple plasma rifle elites, however, will not. So we can just take them out the normal way. The bully way, the shotgun way. Alright, shoot a shotgun, hopefully not damaging them, and let them start fighting the 2 assault rifle flood that they will face off against. They will also encounter a rocket launcher flood. If you do that the way I showed you, there is a strong chance, over 50%, that the elites will take out the rocket launcher guy for you. If they don't, and you see a rocket launcher flood on your minimap moving towards you, you can tell by their speed. Just wait till the red gets right about there, and then throw a frag grenade, and it'll usually kill them. But you have to be really good with your timing there. You have to wait to the last minute, but you can't wait to the last minute, or that dude will kill you dead with his rocket launcher. In this case, we get very fortunate, and they all killed each other. There wasn't even a last man standing. I only drop and pick up that pistol there. It is a major backup. There is more pistol ammunition to pick up. What is not a backup is having the pistol itself. You definitely want to have it for the next bridge. That's why I picked one up here just in case. By the way, if you didn't watch my library video, or haven't played this game in a long time, you want to make sure and watch out when you're dealing with the carrier forms when they explode. Do not risk being close to them when they explode. Not necessarily because they're as dangerous. They're that dangerous. You have to be really close for them to be dangerous when they explode. It's the grenades that might be laying about, strewn about, when you've killed a bunch of combat forms. Those grenades, of course, will chain explode and will kill you dead as fast as anything can in this game. And if they don't kill you dead, they can often whittle you down to a very negligible amount of health. Time mine thing there with the plasma grenade doesn't work like I wanted it to. I come to the wrong side because there's a shotgun guy that's standing right up there that's not on the other side. If I came from the other side, I could have a better chance to kill him without him getting off a shot. He still doesn't get off a shot. That's probably why I didn't prioritize this as much, because I usually can catch him before he catches me. There's 4 guys usually standing there. I don't think there's any shotgun guys amongst them. There's usually a pistol guy, or usually pistol guys, and that's where you'll usually find the pistol that you'll need for the next section. So I'm just juggling here. I do not want to start the battle in the next section without killing these guys. Come out here and be ready to try and take out a Banshee as fast as possible. Just depends on when they obviously lock on and start attending to you. The way you kill Banshees in this game is you find them when they're coming towards you, and you don't move until it's too late for them to dodge it. If you move, then they tend to move. Once you shoot the rocket, Flood will start pouring in from both sides, or one side. That usually starts with the carrier forms, but every once in a while you will get one of the combat forms that are over there. For some reason here, I don't think we get either or any of the combat forms. Right now, I am drawing out the infection forms that are kind of gathered on the sides, because I do not want one of them to jump out right as I'm shooting the rocket launcher at a Banshee. If that happens, you will kill it, and of course blow yourself to bits. It sucks. It's a crappy way to die. Don't die that way. Do what I showed you. Put this rocket launcher down. If you collect ammunition with it, for some weird reason, it will diminish the actual original amount of ammunition that's in the rockets that you'll be collecting them from. On the flip side, for some reason, you cannot collect its ammunition, whatever's left of it, if you pick up another rocket. The trade-off usually works better to leave that one behind and pick one up that you find along the way here. Oh yeah, by the way, did I mention there's 4 rocket flood down there. You want to shoot them from range. This is why we brought the pistol. See that dude down there? He either had or has a rocket launcher right now. It looks like he had a rocket launcher. Sometimes they drop it in the midst of combat with the Banshees. Sometimes they shoot down both Banshees and yeah, make it to where you don't have to. That dude has a rocket launcher. He's going to revive, but he won't revive with the rocket launcher. That dude has one as well. Thank God he shoots it outward and not downward. If you shot it downward, it's highly likely he would bounce his and maybe other rocket launchers that have been dropped right off the damn map. Or right off the bridge and onto a part of the map that I no longer want to go to. This guy's waiting over here, which is kind of scary, but usually when they've been neutered down to nothing, like that guy was, that's usually when they're more likely to hide like that. I don't recall ever being ambushed like that. Still proceed with caution, but I've never been ambushed by him coming out and blasting me like that. Usually when they have the rocket in hand, they're moving around, they're kind of jittery and moving and all that junk. So anyway, very important that you try, if at all possible, to have at least 6 rockets going into this section. Not for this section. This is one of the easiest rooms in the entire level. But when we go down and outdoors, we want to have at least 6 rockets. 5 at the bare minimum. And of course, it'd be lovely if you had 10, which is the max amount you can carry. Oftentimes you won't get that, but right now we have 7, so we're really good. You'll see why. So here we just got some carrier forms. We had 2 guys hop down from the ceiling and a bunch of infection forms. You got all those dudes over there. Just throw a frag grenade right in their midst. You'll kill them all, including the 2 shotgun fellas that you don't want to deal with. They will kill you fast if they're both firing at you at the same time, which they oftentimes will do if you get too close. Activate this lift. Leave all the infection forms behind to ponder their existence, and then, of course, now we get even more. You really don't have to be all crazy. You certainly don't have to shoot a weapon here. They do not kill you here. It just never happens. Even on legendary difficulty, it won't happen. Alright, now that we're down here, we're going to deal with a bunch of human combat forms that like to surprise you. They like to revive. Sometimes they come at you all at once-ish. Other times they will lie in wait. These guys are all kind of coming at us. One is coming, I think, through the tunnel area. Yep. We've got one back here. And one is kind of, not the tunnel area, but through that little kind of skinny walkway there. Yeah, there he is. Let's get rid of him. This is supposedly or theoretically Fire Team Zulu that we left behind in Assault on the Control Room. So I'm going to put them all out of their misery. Even the armless dudes, especially the armless dudes. If at all possible, definitely police around their bodies. The human combat forms, especially these guys, tend to drop frag grenades. And of course, you always have a use for frag grenades. Alright, so unless you plan on speed running past this part, this is something you ought to see. You're going to like this. Let the Flood and the Elite and Grunt go past you to the left. Sometimes they won't do it fast, but let them go past so they don't see you. Immediately come out here, let the Banshee pass by, and shoot that ghost while it's still sitting over there doing nothing. You blow it up every time unless something has noticed you. Next, let's get the Banshee out of the sky. It's the worst thing in this part. It's going to dive bomb us. Stay there, be patient, kill it. Now the Wraith will notice that. Once the Banshee notices, the Wraith will notice us. Not anymore. Come back to where I just went, where it says loading, ... done. You come back out here, and you have a Wraith that is curiously unaware of your position, even after you shoot it. Now, once the Grunt notices us right there, the Wraith will now notice us. Odd, I know. Kind of odd. I've got some extra rockets, so I'm going to fire one over there just to see if I can get him fast. And I can't. He moves. Smart guy. Let's go back and reset his alert level, because I really don't want to have to tangle with him. It's an inevitability. You're not going to lose to this Wraith unless you try. This is just a way to get him a little bit quicker. And he's gone. He did get off a shot, though, so you need to move. JP3. Notice how I shot the last rocket I had over there. Probably not a great idea in hindsight, but it really doesn't matter. I say that because your main priority in this area, your main priority is the Grunts. They are the only enemy in this area that can, quote-unquote, one-shot kill you. If they stick you with a grenade, it's over. Plus, they are the only ones that will get in the turrets. Even the Elite won't get in the turret. The turrets have long range, so he can shoot at me from all the way over here. Notice how the Jackals and the Elite are not. So they're the main priority. Once they're dead, just pick one enemy at a time, circle around, and just overwhelm them, inundate them, bathe them in hot, juicy plasma. Like this guy. And then this guy. Then one of these dudes, and then finally this guy. We have a fairly weak ghost, but we're not taking this ghost into the next section. We're going to take that ghost in the next section, that one right there. But before we do that, we're going to come over here and fill up as much as we can our rocket launcher. We're also going to grab some shotgun ammunition. We have 8 rockets. There's health packs over there if you need them. We have full health. I think full frags. I'm pretty sure full frags. 8 out of the 10 possible rockets that we can carry, and a full shotgun. Nice. Feel free to stop and police those those grenades there, but ultimately it's not necessary. And you'll see why in a little bit. My ghost driving is evidence of my abilities as a speedrunner, which are quite nil. So I use a plasma here because frags are very, very valuable from this point until another point. Do not waste your frags. That all being said, there's frags over here that are laying down by the Warthog, but still, don't even think about using frags until you get to the point where I tell you that you're okay to use them. Oh, my ghost driving. It can be better than this. This is not normal. So notice how I pick up 2 rockets there for a full rocket launcher, pick up the plasma grenades I need, and there's frag grenades laying there too. Now if I had some extra rocket, I would fire it up here when I was down there and at least kill 2 of these guys. I really would like, just in case, to not take any damage. Not have the ghost take any damage. It's okay if I take damage, my shields will recharge. This ghost's health, of course, will not in any way, shape, or form regenerate or recharge. So I'd really like to keep it healthy because it's going to do a lot of work for me in the next 5 minutes or so. Oh! Fortunately, the only needle that makes it to me is one that actually hits me. My shield recharges, everything's fine. Shoot your plasma turret, your forward cannons, to get the Banshee's attention. Oddly and strangely, it did not work here, probably because it got caught on that tree, or probably because I didn't shoot it enough. Trust me, if you get back in the ghost, he's going to come at you because he has a decided advantage when you're in the ghost. Unfortunately for him, once he's already on that track, there's no stopping it. So, we kill him because we didn't move, we didn't strafe too much, and so he just tries to barrel right into us. Now, I use rockets here on one of the hunters. The reason why is because I've got the shotgun, not the pistol. I don't like trying to kill a hunter while the other hunter is still alive. In Halo Combat Evolved, they don't give a crap about their bond brother. They will shoot their bond brother, and the splash damage from that shot will kill you. There's a Banshee up ahead that I never can draw out before I start killing the hunters. Recently, for the first time that I can ever remember while I was killing the hunters, it actually splatted me. Otherwise, except for that incident, that is a massively rare occurrence. It's not something I'd worry about. Come over here and do what I just did. Just whatever you do, take the shotgun with you, or at least plan to go back and pick it up from where you dropped it if you take the pistol. There is a pistol over there by the downed Warthog. It's actually not a terrible idea at all to put the shotgun down, take the pistol over here, and then go back and get it. But do not forget to go back and get it. Notice how I used the ghost to travel over here so I could sneak up on this Wraith, who I get really fortunate with and land all 3 rockets. That one was the fortunate one. So come back over, grab your ghost, and now we're going to do the same thing to these grunts and to the elites that are over there that we just did a minute ago with the jackals and grunts and the elite when we, over there where we defeated the Wraith. Just take these dudes out. The grunts, again, keeping my distance, don't want to get grenaded. It's the only way you can get killed instantly is if they throw a grenade over here at you and it sticks. Now, the much less dangerous of the 2 encounters, we take care of the elites. Same principle as before. Generally face off against them one at a time. Bathe them in plasma. They can't handle it. They can't shoot you fast enough. This game plays fair. They actually are stunned by the sheer amount of power and heat that is being heaped upon their body. Alright, very important you do this as well. Take a low flight over to here, and as soon as you get into a position, use the old graphics to make sure you get the geometry correct. Make sure you have cover on the left side here, and go all the way up to about this ledge, then look down and find the Banshee, This one takes off late and does not come from under like it normally does. I can't find it, but once I do, I move ever so slightly. I Banshee bomb him, and he is down for the count. Now we've got 3 grunts in this area that will be lobbing fuel rods at us. When you get up to a certain height, as you notice there, they just kind of disappear. That doesn't seem to mean anything to me, and I kind of nervously approach the sniping portion and almost forget about this Banshee here that comes at us quite fast and quite quick. Note though that there can be or is another Banshee over there too. You can face a total of 3 Banshees coming off of that platform. See? I'm not really sure where the elite is that can get in that one, but I've had to kill 3 Banshees here before after having killed 2 while I was on the ground. Now let's start getting in our little bit of a sniping mode here like we did in Assault on the Control Room. And now we start making quick work of these dudes. Alright, so I believe that's all the fuel rod guys. Your next priority is the guys, the grunts of course, that can get in the turrets. Sometimes it's hard to tell if they are alive or not. Sometimes you can set up here and snipe and kill and blow everything up and they still be asleep maybe, or just kind of chilling out in a sort of strange state of lethargy whenever things are going crazy around them. It does work to your advantage in some cases, like it did in Assault on the Control Room if you remember. Here it does not. Here, however, we get dangerously close to dying, which is not normal. Not normal. Not sure why that guy was so aggressive, but I guess be ready for that. And also be ready for the possibility that you might shoot a Banshee bomb in frustration. It hit the grenades he's dropping, and that explosion actually do damage. Fortunately, neither occurred. And now we're at the real hard part. The really, really hard part. The part of this mission that, for me, makes it the challenge it truly is. Let the Sentinels lose really fast here. Let this battle play out. Turn on the old graphics so you know where the geometry actually is. And see if you can't get a stick on the rocket launcher guy before he knows you're even here. There he is. Well, that was a shotgun dude. That was a rocket launcher guy. I get the grenade over there, and it kills 2 people. I'm not sure, of course, since I didn't see it stick, if it was him or not. I mentioned the part about not seeing if it's stuck. Do not linger at that ledge. If he shoots it over here, it will kill you. You won't have time to move unless you are massively more reflexive than anyone I've ever seen play this game. There's a dude just sitting there. Don't know if that's the rocket launcher guy, but I don't care. Notice I am using plasmas because they stick, and not frags because I need to save them. This is what you save the frags for. Not this part, but for the next part. This, to me, this part here is actually harder than the part that's coming up that most people fear. This is the part I don't have a great answer for. This is my answer. If one of them flashes out and throws a rocket at me, I'm dead. And I guess it's possible one can do that at any time. Now, I haven't actually shot a weapon. I've only thrown grenades. That does tend to lend some stealth to the proceedings. I don't know if that really makes sense, but it does tend to make it to where they won't all rush you. I do kind of want them to rush me, though. The rocket launcher guy will not rush you. He will get over there where I've been sticking them and then fire the rocket, but he generally won't come into this hallway. So that's what that blast is designed to do. Look at our minimap. Suddenly it's got the measles. The rocket launcher guy won't come through here. I wish he would. If he would, that would make this part a whole lot easier. But he won't come through here, so I'm not going to pretend like he will. Instead, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to deal with Flood, who may or may not have shotguns, but are generally perhaps possibly weaker and even without their weapons because they've been the victim of splash damage from those grenades. Now, the reason why I never used a grenade during all that is because I really hoped that they would drop some grenades. They do not drop grenades for some reason, which is odd and strange and rare. But I do have my 2 frags. I did have 3 frags, now I only have 2. It's really good to have more explosives than I will have into the part where into the next part. So here I've got one other guy. He's playing coy just like the rocket launcher guy will. So I'm nervous. But then I see the delicious glow of a plasma pistol and realize that our last guy is not so scary after all. So I do a quick little check around the room carefully. I usually fire a couple of shots. No measles on my minimap. Don't see any red at all. Just break, you piece of crap. And usually when you go up to a certain point, you'll get this little spawn of just a bunch of infection forms. Definitely take them out before you set off the second phase pulse generator. You don't want them to be in the way of any of the proceedings whenever that happens and this place becomes flood central. Whether it's because you don't want to be de-shielded and have them sucking on your health, because that's exactly what they'll do, or because you don't want to hit them with one of your weapons, namely the rocket launcher, while you're trying to take care of these guys. Alright. Nope, not yet. Gotta get all the rocket launcher ammo that we can find. We will need as much of it as possible. We have 5 grenades. We should have more. But that's the way the world works. Alright, let's do it! Alright, throw a rocket, throw a grenade, throw a rocket. Usually I throw a rocket, grenade, rocket, so I messed that up. That's why I didn't get as many kills here. Rocket, grenade, rocket. And then as you see red coming around the corners, you just keep throwing your explosives until you're pretty sure that either everyone's dead or everyone's weak enough, meaning that they don't have their weapons anymore because you've blasted them all off, so that you're safe to finish and mop everything up and finish and get out of this room. Oh, brother. So tense. So tense because you just don't know who you've killed. You don't know who you've killed. I know I've killed like 7 or 8 of the 16 to 20 that can be here. I'm not sure the exact number. I can't believe I didn't stick that guy. But it kills somebody. Again, it's probably about time to shoot the shotgun and get some things coming towards me. But that's not working out all that awfully. That's not working out all that bad. So we do fire a weapon that should draw some attention here. I don't even take the time to look and see what that guy's holding. But I do take the time to look down at my mini-map and realize that we've got a fair amount more than I was hoping for, given all the explosives we've used. We don't have any more grenades. We only have the rocket launcher. So now I'm just resigned to, you know what? If one of those dudes, if one of the guys left actually have a rocket launcher, then so the hell be it. I don't know if I realized it at the time, but I do know now that I did not do that the right way. You fire a rocket, throw a grenade, fire another rocket, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use the grenade during the cooldown from firing the rockets. You can't fire, the rate of fire for the rocket launcher is low. Alright guys, we're at the tunnels below.
I've located the Pillar of Autumn. She put down 1,200 kilometers upspin. Energy readings show her fusion reactors are still powered up. The systems on the Pillar of Autumn have failsafes even I can't override without authorization from the captain. We'll need to find him, or his neural implants, to start the fusion core detonation.
And now what we're going to try our best to do is snipe with the Banshee Bomb the oncoming flood rush. It'd be nice if we could do that while not being shot by that turret. It would seem to make sense that the turret would focus more so on the flood that are immediately present and potentially to attack it, but I really don't want this Banshee to get whittled down to maybe 2 or 3 bars left, so I take out the turret, which is almost certainly a recipe for the flood winning this battle. Now I can see them barely in the distance, the flood, the rush, and I'm trying to get Banshee bombs down there, but it's just really hard to do unless you are very well practiced at sniping them at this particular part. Now the reason why I'm not running away in fear and terror is because I haven't seen a rocket fired, at least not by those guys, and they don't look to have rocket launchers. It's probably better though to be safe and try to get out of there a little bit quicker than what I just did. So we're actually doing a pretty decent job of sniping these guys that are here. But this isn't at all. This isn't all. This is not the end. And once we get rid of these guys, we still got some possible trolls that are way, way down there. So right now we're just cleaning up any proximate flood threats. Now right here, I scared myself to death thinking about this. The only way now that there might be flood left over in this area that could be a threat to us, at least in this immediate area, would be as if somehow, some way, we Banshee bombed it into the geometry and it could still fire its rocket at us. Otherwise, they will be running at you. They will not be typically hiding behind something waiting for you in this immediate area. They wait to troll you when you get down there closer. Now, here's another little problem that can happen. If you get the Banshee doing this, so every time you walk up to it, even though it looks like it should be just fine to hop into, instead it just says to flip it, you need to throw a grenade at it, blast it, and hope to goodness it bounces off something else, and then it's going at least in the right direction, going forward, or sideways like this. And that's how you get back in it, because otherwise you can't get back in it if it's facing the other way and sliding in that manner. So just a little troubleshooting there. The Banshee is indestructible whenever you're outside of it. So when I threw that grenade at it, that did not hurt it. Now, if I'd have thrown the grenade at it and got right back in the Banshee, then it would have hurt the Banshee and possibly even myself. Alright, so I'm trying to goose these guys out by crossing whatever line I need to cross, or by maybe damaging them out, like causing them some damage and pissing them off and then having them run out, which is possible. It's also possible that these guys had already came up in combat and they aren't there, but as it turns out, they most certainly are. I think 2 of those guys have rocket launchers. So needless to say, we back way the F off, and now we're going to try to snipe them again. I believe at some point it becomes clear that one of them runs back to his troll spot. So now we're starting to get a little tense at that moment, but we fortunately, and he comes back out when his teammates are dead. But now he's dead. Thank goodness. Alright, so yeah, one with the rocket launcher actually went back. Alright, so now we're past the scariest and trolliest parts. Well, there's still some trolly parts left, but we're past the scariest parts. We're past the second phase pulse generator room. We have an answer for every problem we're likely to encounter from here on out. And I'll try my best to display those, or at least comment and talk about those. Right now what we're doing is we're going to retrieve the ghost, because yes, we will be pushing the ghost through the door. It is quasi-exploitative in a way, but it's not enough for me not to want to do it anyway, because I do believe that with the ghost, you don't necessarily have a massively decided advantage. You just get the infinite ammo of the twin plasma cannons. It can actually hurt you because of your lack of mobility. So you need to be very careful with the ghost in this area. By the way, if you do want to do this trick, just never forget that you need to leave the Banshee here and go get the ghost. Don't do it the other way around. The ghost is developer placed. It will stay there forever. The Banshee will despawn if you leave it back there. And by the way, as evidence of that, just so you know, the other Banshee that you didn't get in, it's despawned as well once you loaded up this area here. But since we brought the Banshee past that loading point, it's going to obviously stay with us. So right now we're just cleaning up any flood that's standing around the outside of this door, as much as we can at least, and we stick that right there, butt forward. Then we grab the Banshee and we just hit it. Usually only takes one whack. There is actually a way to get the Banshee through here by going through the top. I've never spent enough time to try to learn how to do it. I've tried it and it's not easy to do. I don't even know if it's possible, frankly, to do on MCC. or the original Xbox version. It may only be something you do on PC, I'm not sure. But it does give you a decided advantage. Whereas the Ghost, on the other hand, just makes it to where you don't have to essentially go back and get that pistol after the second phase pulse generator room. Which is something I actually advise you do anyway, because of its utility in this particular section. It's not long after that you can have access to a pistol. By the way, this was recorded using the Xbox One X DVR. With an external hard drive, it only records for an hour. So since this is over an hour, there was naturally going to be a cut. I decided to cut it during the combat with the Flood, just to make sure that it didn't look in any way, shape, or form like this is not a single segment, individual level run of Two Betrayals. Especially since we've already ran past the point where scoring is being recorded, but the timer is down there still if you want to verify that. And of course I'll have the end screen that shows the kills and the deaths and such. Alright, so we're just chopping away at these dudes. Just so you know, you can't speedrun past this part. You need to spawn both of these spawns. If you don't, then the next area won't load in properly and you won't be able to complete the level. So if you are going to speedrun this, you have to trigger both spawns, the second of which includes, I believe, 2 Flood with rocket launchers. That's why I'm staying further back from this group than I was the first group, who had no weapons at all. This group is mostly comprised of people with assault rifles and plasma rifles, but again, there are 2 dudes with rocket launchers, and I don't know if I've killed them. Again, this is one other use of the pistol, and even the rocket launcher, since you should be holding on to it, is you can scope in and take a look, and hopefully maybe see, especially in the, well, I'm not sure which would be easier to notice that in the new graphics or the old, but anyway. So I can see a Flood hiding behind a pillar, that little pipe pillar thing over there to the right, coming out straight in front. See him right there? So I decide I'm going to fire at him, but of course he moves. But one thing I did notice just now, and I may have noticed in-game or maybe not, was that he did not have a rocket launcher. He may have once had one, but he does not have it anymore. That's also a good, I guess, use of the Ghost here, is that we're shooting into a pile. I talked about this in the library. You might not always get kills, especially on Legendary, by shooting into a group that's coming towards you, but you might be shooting off weapon arms and whip arms, which of course is highly valuable. Unlike in Halo 2, at least, in Halo CE, if they don't have a weapon or a whip arm, they don't have a means to attack you. They become essentially your thrall, because they will follow you around, but not really know what to do with you once they get to you. Alright, now policing for grenades, hoping to fill up on both before we leave here, and of course being just a slither bit there extra careful, just to make sure that there isn't a Flood with a rocket launcher hiding somewhere. Unfortunately and oddly, I do not police around for rocket launcher ammunition, but more importantly for grenades. I did appear to have only 2 plasma grenades, so that's kind of odd on my part there. Not really sure why I did that, except for that you just get fatigued in a level like this. I love this level. I love it because it's long. There's a lot of content here, a lot of fun to be had, but it does get fatiguing. And I remember the first time I played this level, when this part came up here, this music cue, this chapter, final run, I remember feeling some proxy of sorts of the exhaustion that I guess if this was all real, the Chief would have felt. And just feeling that relief, if you will, knowing that it's almost over. It's a video game, but at some point, you know, you get to this juncture where it's like, oh my gosh, after all this combat and all the peril and all the craziness, are we finally almost here? Are we almost? And we are. We are. This is the last, probably 5th of the level here that we're going to be taking out. So, unfortunately, the Banshee will sometimes focus on you and not the Flood, which are, for it, the proximate threat. If that occurs, a couple different things happen. The group of 5 that are over there, I believe it's 5, and it's usually no shotguns, I believe, in that group ever, and there's always one that's a carrier form. That happens, but that's fine. We take care of them. The problem is that the Covenant no longer have the Banshee on their side. There's 5 ways this fight can finish, essentially. There's a Covenant rout. The Covenant barely win with a last man or 2 standing. No one standing. The Flood win with a last man standing, or a Flood rout. The worst of these is the Flood rout, because they're R-O-U-T, rout, because there's probably a lot of rocket launcher guys left over if that occurs, and guess what we get? We get Flood rout, which that means we get out of the Ghost immediately, and we start targeting these guys from afar, and we start using this hill to our advantage. If the Flood fire a rocket at us, they're going to fire it in a way that it's probably not going to hit our feet. It's going to sail right down towards us, but ultimately and hopefully over our heads. If that occurs, what you do is you stay in the middle, move to the side and diagonally, so to speak, to the side, and move forward. Not backwards, you move forwards. But almost like at least in common myth, bears don't like to travel downhill. Flood don't like to fire downhill for whatever reason. So but again, don't count on that to be the case every time. Just keep backing up, keep throwing rockets, keep throwing grenades, shotgunning what gets near. Watch out for stragglers like this. You scared the crap out of me, you piece of garbage. And hopefully there's no stragglers over there. There usually isn't. Usually what happens is when they win the battle, they all start marching towards you. And we saw that obviously very ominous and scary picture of this Flood army heading towards us. But we took care of them, baby. Now, if the Covenant went in a rout, then you take care of them the very same way you did earlier. You just slowly but surely pick off the grunts, who are going to be the ones that can one-hit kill you with their grenades, and then individually take the other ones one at a time. If there's any of the other 3 in the middle, then I shouldn't have to say anything to you. It's easy. The Flood, if there's a last man standing, if he doesn't have a rocket launcher, then go after him. Just take him out as quickly as possible. Same with the Covenant. If they have one last guy standing, and so on and so forth. If there's no one standing, then just sail on through. Sometimes the Covenant on Legendary will focus on you, even though they are clearly, again, as we saw before, under more attack by the Flood. They will come over here, but comically enough, as we saw there, the Elite was still kind of firing at the Flood, but so we had a chance to rocket launch him. He didn't have a chance to dodge it or anything like that. Be careful going anywhere too far past where we're at now, because all those guys are easy, they're simple, whether it's your Ghost with the Covenant or the rocket launcher with both. They're not a problem for you. These guys down here are a problem for you. All 4 that are down here have rocket launchers. So we're going to take our pistol, and we're going to shoot them all to death before they have a chance to be any sort of threat to us at all. Notice I throw a grenade over there, but of course, as soon as I get ready to depress the trigger, it seems like, they notice where I'm at. Now stay out in the open, be ready to dodge a rocket, whether it's coming for you or whether it's shot after death. This guy should be our #1 priority. And then, as far as the rest of these guys go, what I made just a slight error there with is that I picked up the sniper rifle too fast. Don't pick it up yet. Keep your shotgun. That's why, from now on, we're finally going to let it go. But, of course, you'd want to hold on to the shotgun for just a little bit longer. And if they get too close, for some reason you can't pistol them down, then you have the shotgun to finish them off. By the way, don't get any rocket launcher ammo over in that pile, especially if you plan to use a lot of it in this upcoming battle of sorts. No need to use it. No need to use it. It's developer placed. It'll stay there. The rockets they drop, however, will disappear. So go ahead and grab it first, and then go back and get the developer placed stuff last. So we're going to rocket snipe this Wraith. It is like the Wraith we saw before. It is not paying attention for whatever reason, and so you can shoot it dead without it doing anything at all, alerting any enemies, changing anything. It's a gimme. The other Wraith I've never been able to do this with. By the time you can see it, you cross the invisible line that starts the cutscene, or it starts the final battle. I have no idea why I thought I could snipe anything over there from this distance. I never seem to be able to, especially when I got the new graphics on, but it doesn't really matter. I only grabbed the sniper rifle at this point out of habit. We're not going to be using it. So let's grab all the rocket launcher ammunition we can get. And let's start this final section. Alright, I just put it in the old graphics here because it seems like for me it's a little bit easier to find that place to get up this hill. Again, you can tell, not a speedrunner, not this guy. So you want to race over to the right. Right there. Notice how I moved in a diagonal fashion? That's something you can do with the Ghost in Combat Evolved. We're going to do that, and it's going to be much more important to do that in a little bit. Come over here, let the flood get set up. You can fire a couple of rockets at this Wraith. If you're lucky and the computer doesn't cheat you, then it won't immediately turn around and dodge rockets that it doesn't even see coming because it's busy focusing on the flood. I'd like to weaken it. I'd love to blow it up because it's going to bother me in a little bit. But at this point right now, the main thing we're doing is letting the flood get set up and weakening that Wraith in the hopes that we can take it out, or the flood can take it out relatively easy later on. Not always a gimme. Certainly not a guarantee, but it doesn't matter. Now we're going to go to the left, go in a diagonal fashion, past the flood with the rocket launchers. I have no idea how we splatted him because I didn't think that was possible. And then we come right over here. Now I make a huge mistake here. Too many things were killed on this map. So guess what we get? We get the spawn back here. This piece of crap game spawns them right on top of us. That's not supposed to occur. Get this Banshee, not the other one, and fly up and out. If that spawn doesn't occur, and we just go straight to the Banshee, instead of trying to shoot things like an idiot, you can get that Banshee out of there with 6 bars of health. The other Banshee, I seem to always get it out of there with about 3 bars of health. So always go to that Banshee, since they're all looking at you on what will be your left when you're facing the battle. So get the Banshee on your... they're all looking at you on the right because you just came from that direction. Go to the left Banshee because that's where they're theoretically not looking, and you'll have a little more of a chance to get out of there with a healthy Banshee. Now, if you're not like me, and you're just going to go take this Banshee if you do my strategy, and you're just going to go right to the end, you definitely want a healthy Banshee to face off against the Sentinels. You don't need it. You can shoot them from afar and get out of their range, but that takes a long time, and it gets annoying. Now, this is what's really annoying, is that because this piece of crap Wraith knew exactly when our rockets were going to come and when to dodge, even though it wasn't looking at us and it was busy attending to the flood, we have to spend extra time taking it out. Now, my Banshee sniping here is worse than it was at any point in the game, which, of course, doesn't make any sense. I should have been practiced enough here, but I don't know, maybe it wasn't that bad after all. The problem with Banshee sniping here is that we're not just sniping grunts and jackals. We're sniping a lot of elites. And unless they're an elite in camo, they're going to be hard to kill. The elites in camo do not have shields, so they're usually a one-shot kill. Notice how that one just went down pretty fast there. Now, I am now taking damage from the turret that's able to shoot me from all the way back here. The turret should be priority 1 when you do the Banshee sniping. Keep hitting it until it falls over. So, yes, it of course bounced in a manner that would... Now it's tipped over again, that piece of garbage. But I don't think we have any grunts left. Yeah, and we do, actually. And I think he may be going for the turret, but I think we just sliced him in half with that hot fuel rod blast there. So now we've got hunters down there. Don't worry about them. We're going to get on the ground floor to kill them. And reclaim the fresh Banshee once we're done here. So just keep sniping. Now we've got mostly elites left over. Of course, they're going to take more time because they're shields. And right now I'm focusing on the wrong elite. I should be focusing on the elite majors. Because in the end and in the long run, if this thing goes down to one bar, to even 2 bars, I can always get out of the Banshee and go and snipe everything. And right now, of course, the best thing to do would be to kill as many enemies as possible so there's just few things to actually snipe. There we go, get that Jackal out of the way. Now we've got 2 elites with, you know, awesome shields. So it's going to take a few Banshee bombs to get them, maybe 2 or 3. That guy goes, I think, in part due to a chain explosion. How nice! Alright, so one thing you definitely don't want to do is get too low here because bad things can happen. For example, the hunters can shoot your ass out of the sky with their fuel rods. Also, we appear to have 2 camo elites left over that were just shooting at us then. So let's stay up here and keep these guys at a distance. Now they're both dead, so we've got the hunters, and I believe, yes, I believe we have 2, or at least 1 camo elite right down here. He should be easy enough to kill if we can get around this geometry. Yep, we've got 2 left to kill, and again, like I said, they're easy to kill. The splash damage from the Banshee bomb can even kill them. Whatever damage you do is permanent, because again, they're not recharging, they don't have shields. Now we're down to just 2 hunters. We're going to get out and we're going to rocket launch them or snipe them, depending on which is easier, and then we'll be nearly done with this wonderful, wonderful challenge of a mission. So this guy's going to come in hard. We need to rocket launch him immediately. Either that or find a way to snipe him as he's charging. No need though. The rocket does the trick, and we got a fresh Banshee to go take on those nasty, pesky, difficult Sentinels. Only difficult, of course, if you have a weak Banshee. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are almost finished. Hang in there with me. Hang in there just a little bit longer, just in case there's something about how I do this that might be interesting to you. And who knows, I might even say something interesting at the end. Probably not. Alright, so just keeping my relative distance, but not being too safe about it, because again, full health Banshee, because we waited and bided our time, took everything out, all the ants on the ground, we squished all of them with very little risk because of the height that we kept. Go ahead and grab this plasma rifle, don't fall off the edge, of course. You can go ahead and fill up the rocket launcher if you want on the side, but I never need it. In fact, here I don't even really need the plasma rifle all that much. Don't even really need it all that much because... Hello? Howdy. Could you go float by a couple of your friends for me? Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You should be weak. You were right there next to your buddy there. Alright, last one. Where are you hiding at, you frickin' troll? You're not going to end this for me. Just come out. And you're done. Pop this. And bathe, bask in the warm glow of Cortana's words, which signify the end of this level. Whew! Alright, so that is it. We are done with Two Betrayals. The longest mission in the game. The hardest mission in the game, in my opinion. Perhaps even maybe even the longest mission in the franchise, and certainly a top 5, a top 10 hardest mission in the franchise as a whole. Please hit that thumbs up button if you liked watching this, or any part of this for that matter. Please write into the comment section any questions you might have, any criticisms, or any praises you might want to leave. Even if you want to just give a shout out to your friends, or you want to talk about how much you love or hate this level, please leave it in the comments section. Please subscribe if you'd like more of this content, and hit that notifications bell. Very important you do that. That's how I keep up with all my favorite YouTubers. You should do the same. Hit the notifications bell. That way you'll know right when a video is released, when it's fresh out of the gate, hot off the presses, pristine off the assembly line. As for now, however, this is JP3 signing out. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you very, 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 very much for watching. Goodbye.